Hello, and welcome to the Wayfaring Panda. I'm Annette. Today I'm making a birthday card, and I'm smashing my stash by using a lot of supplies that I have at home and not buying anything to make this card. So first of all, I'm starting with a stamp set that I purchased quite a long time ago, and I found it at a stamp store that sometimes sells used stamps, so you could take your stamps there if you don't want them anymore, and they sell it like a resale shop. I love all the Lawn Fawn Critters sets, and I didn't have this one, so of course I had to get it. And also it has a zebra in it, and that's one of my sister's favorite animals, as well as my cousin's daughter loves zebra. And I was thinking about making this card for a girl that I sponsor in Mexico, and her favorite colors are black and red, and she also likes yellow. So I'm going to make this card for her July birthday. And I'm stamping the inside actually with a Lawn Fawn set that says Happy Birthday in Spanish. And to decorate inside, I'm stamping a rhino. I'm using my Tim Holtz stamping platform, but you can use whatever stamping platform you have, or you can use acrylic blocks. Now I'm just using the grass from the Savannah set. And I'm going to stamp some grass with the yellow color of Distress ink. And this is scattered straw. Originally I thought I'd do the outside with this color, but it turned out to not be as bright of yellow as I wanted. I'm stamping my animal images from the critters on the Savannah with my Memento black ink. And I'm using Copic friendly paper. I don't know which paper this is because I bought several different ones from a company that specializes in alcohol marker friendly paper, and I'm trying out different ones to see how I like it, but this was a scrap piece I had left, so I'm not sure which one it was. So if I like the less expensive one the best, then of course I'll go with that one. And the packages, they are separated with the different ones so that when I get them out of the package I do know what they are. I don't have too many yellow colors, so I'm making do with what I have. I'm starting with the darker color YR24 underneath the legs on the spots because that's where it would be darkest. And now I'm moving to YR21, and I'm not doing too much shading. I'm going back and forth with my YR24 and my YR21 just to do a little bit of shading. And I usually do my darkest first so I can decide where the shadows would be. But some people prefer to start with a lighter color. Then I use my W9 for the hooves. For the rest of the giraffe's body, I'm using Y15 for the body, and I'm going around where I think it'll be shadier, so under his legs and along where the different body parts kind of connect. And then I'll go over the rest with my Y11. And then I go back with my Y15 to add some more shading. Then I just keep going back and forth between the two colors to get it to the right shading that I want. Now it's easier to blend if you have more than two colors. But like I said, I'm just doing the best with what I have. And plus it's a yellow color, so it's not as dark. For the zebra, I'm just using W9 for his hooves and his stripes. And since that's a small area, I'm not doing any shading. For the white part of his body, I'm doing a shadow with W3, and then I'll go in with my W1 to lighten it up. I really like the look of the zebra, so I'm going to have to use that on a lot more cards. Now I'm moving on to lines, so I'm starting with his nose, but I'm just using the W9. On the lines where I really had to make do with what I have since I needed to do the mane and the body in yellow. So I'm starting with my YR24, and I kind of go around the mane, and then I remembered that for animals you should do a flicking motion, so I started doing that after I go around. I'm still not very good at flicking. Then I'm going to flick the Y21 around the edge of the mane. So I'm thinking more inside the mane would be darker and the outside would be a little bit lighter. And I just go back and forth with the two colors until I get a blend that I like. Then I'm just doing the Y24 on the tip of his tail. I'm using YR21 and YR31 for his body. I tried to zoom in so you can see better. However, my camera, I got a new setup, which I really like because now I don't use the tripod, and I have a bar overhead. However, the camera clip that I put on it is pretty high up, so I had to zoom in quite a bit to get this. So I think it's a little bit fuzzy. So I might be able to get another camera clip that would come down a little bit further. Now I'm just adding some R20 for some blush. I'm not really an expert with this. I don't do it too often. And I forgot I was zoomed in, so you couldn't really see me putting the blush on the other animals. Next, I'm getting my card background ready, and you can see over to the side how I first laid it out. And I used scattered straw on this embossing folder, but it didn't turn out as bright a yellow as I liked. And I also had that yellow behind the giraffe. So then I decided I would try the squeezed lemonade and the distressed oxide so I'd have a brighter background. The other thing I did on the scattered straw one is I just swiped my ink pad on the embossing folder, and then it kind of looked kind of streaky, and I didn't really like that look. So now I'm using my blending brush. Now here's the big reveal. I thought I liked the color, but you can see it didn't get good coverage. So then I just went over the top with some more Distress Oxide lemonade. The embossing folder I'm using has animal tracks on it. So when I'm going over the yellow, the one thing is footprints aren't white anymore, which would make them stand out more. But you could still see them, and I like the overall results better this way with the bright yellow background. After the paper dried a little bit, I decided to do my sentiment. I'm going to emboss that. So I'm going over with my embossing tool, and it's just putting on a powder so that the embossing powder only sticks where you do the inking. And I wasn't sure how this was going to work at first, but I discovered my saying could fit where I wanted without being on any of the footprints. I'm using my Barn Door Distress ink for the sentiment. I'm doing that because this is a wetter ink, and then it'll hold embossing powder. So I'm using some clear embossing powder, and I like this because it doesn't show up if you get it on the wrong spot as much as if you're using a colored embossing powder. Also, if you're using a colored ink like the Distress ink and clear, you can do more colors as opposed to buying a different color of embossing powder for every different color that you might want to use. Then I just use my Wagoner heat tool to melt the embossing powder. I like to start on the back and then move to the front so that you don't have the heat on in one spot too long and end up scorching your paper. Then I use my Scotch ATG gun to attach my card panel to my card front. And you could use any double-sided tape, or you could use any type of glue to do this. Okay, said this was going to be Smash My Stash, so of course I've been using all the things I already had at home. And this is some washi tape I had purchased because I have zebra stamps, and plus I love animals. I don't know what I bought first. But anyway, I decided it'd be perfect on this card, so I'm just putting it across my card. I'm using my Tim Holtz scissors to trim the tape because they're non-stick. Now this is some washi tape. I guess it's washi tape. I don't know. Anyway, some glitter tape. I guess that's maybe what it's called. That I got at Hobby Lobby, and there were several different colors, and I got it at Christmas time. But I never used it, so I thought this was perfect to go with my black and red color scheme. The red and black circles, plus I think I had some white ones, are leftovers I had from when I did some shaker cards. I did quite a bit of them for a card swap. So I have a whole bunch of red and black circles. And those were just things I cut from cardstock with my Lawn Fawn circle dies. But these were in my stash. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity for using my circles.
and I'm just using some Nouveau glue to glue my circles and my animals to the front of the card. I really liked how this card turned out, and I think it'd be great for mass producing since I have a lot more circles and washi tape in my stash. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a like and leave comments below. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate if you can do so. I'll also leave a list of all the supplies that I use below. Some of these will be affiliate links. They don't cost you anything, but they do help support my site because I get a small percent of commission from any sales they generate. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.